A big weekend in downtown Springfield as both the Thunderbirds and the Springfield Symphony Orchestra open their seasons on Saturday.
The orchestra is celebrating a big milestone. Its 80th season. And Western Mass News reporter Wesley Days made his way to the Symphony Hall for an early look at what audiences can expect.
For the 80th time, the Symphony Hall stage is being set for a season opener.
It's a remarkable achievement. There's just not that many cultural institutions that have survived 80 years.
For its 8-decade anniversary, the orchestra is celebrating in style, bringing talents from across the country together in song. Western Mass News spoke with Paul Lambert, the president and CEO of Springfield Symphony Orchestra. He tells us the group is gearing up for a historic season.
We have been unbelievably gifted and proud to have this remarkable series of guest conductors and artists coming in to play with us.
In 48 hours, guest conductor May En Chen and guest soloist 15-year-old prodigy Amrin Almeida will take the stage for a performance Chen promises we won't forget.
We have Rachmaninoff's Lakshas Symphony No. 2. If you don't know the symphony, just wait until the slow movement when the clarinets melt your heart.
Talk about a tight timeline. The melodic music you'll soon hear will only be played a handful of times before the symphony kicks off on Saturday.
People may be surprised that we take basically 2 days to put everything together. So we have what we call double rehearsals on each day. Rehearsal in the afternoon, followed by a rehearsal in the evening. And guest conducting for me, I like to call it speed dating the orchestra.